Yeah, it's Uncle Mo Day. It's like a holiday here, so it seems.
Because you couldn't have asked truly for a better day.
And John Velasquez says, let's go, Uncle Mo.
It's the first time in 3 months I've taken a deep breath.
Joyful victory under a hand ride from Mike Smith.
You know, she just ran beautifully.
They would need to sprout wings to get him.
They were going too fast, and I didn't want to follow them that close.
3,000 for Clinton Potts on Forever Tango.
Is there more on the Tackleberry bandwagon now?
Tackleberry again!
My flag does it! My flag under Jerry Moore.
This is Hrtv Rewind, March 7th through March 13th, 2011.
Real quick here, we got time for a quick bullet drill.
Right on.
Uncle Mo, all the rage, hyped horse, hasn't even run at 3. What are his odds to win at Gulfstream this Saturday?
1 to 20.
The tote board won't show you that, but I agree. Uncle Mo odds to win on Derby Day.
Right now?
Right now.
2 to 1.
What about Derby Day?
Even money.
All right, that's
It is not quite a case of out of sight, out of mind, but because he has not made an afternoon appearance in more than 4 months, it is easy to forget just how dominant Uncle Mo was during his breathtaking 2010 two-year-old campaign. You probably know that he was unbeaten in 3 starts, that he was an Eclipse Award winner and almost everybody's winner book favorite for this year's Kentucky Derby. But in looking back, you realize just how exceptional Uncle Mo was and just how high his ceiling might be. Uncle Mo was an open secret when he made his racing debut at Saratoga in late August, going off at 4 to 5 in a 6-furlong maiden event under Johnny Velasquez. The Todd Pletcher-trained colt did not disappoint.
Uncle Mo, he demolished the field. He won by 15 lengths. He won by more than that.
Earning a spectacular 102 Beyer speed rating, Uncle Mo clearly stamped himself as a potential superstar, a reputation that was enhanced 6 weeks later in the Grade 1 Champagne Stakes at Belmont Park.
Well, here is Uncle Mo, and he is indeed the real deal.
His final time of 1 minute 34 and 2/5 seconds in that one-turn mile equaled Seattle sluice clocking in the Champagne 33 years ago. But as a son of Indian Charlie, Uncle Mo still had to prove to skeptics that he could carry his speed a bit farther and around 2 turns, a task that was made even more challenging by the presence of the equally brilliant Boys at Tuscanova in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile at Churchill Downs on the first Saturday in November.
And Uncle Mo is let loose, and look at him stride away.
The confrontation turned out to be no contest.
John Velasquez just got to point him in the right direction, takes a look back. Uncle Mo, superb in the juvenile.
3 for 3, and at the tail end of the year, Uncle Mo had done more than enough to secure a championship. But that was then, and today he resurfaces at Gulfstream Park in the first of what will be only 2 prep races for the Kentucky Derby. He is expected to win the Timely Rider, but you can be sure the scrutiny will be intense. After all, there is nowhere to go but down when perfection is on the line.
You know, Gulfstream Park management custom wrote the conditions of today's Timely Rider for Uncle Mo, but it's as if they custom wrote the conditions weather-wise, because you couldn't have asked truly for a better day. This could be the absolute perfect prep to get Uncle Mo started on his sophomore campaign. I'm expecting a winning effort. Anything less, in my opinion, even with the inside post position, even though it's his first try as a 3-year-old, to me is a disappointment. He's sharp, he's trained well at Palmettos, a very similar surface to the track he's going to be running over today. But in the end, I don't see anyone that showed me as much in terms of morning workouts and previous experience on the racetrack than Uncle Mo has shown me today. And in talking to Todd Pletcher, he seems to have the same opinion. That's good enough for me. I expect a huge race, something he can improve off of, but a win regardless.
And John Velasquez says, let's go, Uncle Mo. Rattlesnake Bridge tries to stick with him. They've left the others far behind. Uncle Mo has a 2-length lead at the 16th pole, and he's opened up from Rattlesnake Bridge. Uncle Mo is back. His 3-year-old debut was a winning one.
Interior fractions were very, very comfortable for him, but what I liked the most is he came home the last quarter in 22-4 and, you know, galloped out huge. So, you know, I think we got the conditioning we were looking for without having a real tough race. to me, anytime you come home on the dirt in 22 and 4, you don't see too many horses do that. You know, that's finishing like on a turf race, you know, and also did it with Johnny sitting on him, looking around.
At the end of the day, you know what? It's the first time in 3 months I've taken a deep breath, so it kind of feels good to take a deep breath. And listen, when you got the best trainer in the world and he tells you how good this horse is, you got to trust him. He had a lot of reason to panic as soon as he got out. He didn't. He got to the front nice and easy. But the biggest thing was, Johnny never touched him, number one. And the second thing is how fast he came home under a hand ride. It's just, he got tested today.
Brethren has the lead. The $16,000 claimer, Crimson Knight, is giving you all he wants. And meanwhile, watch me go from Gilbert Campbell's colors on the outside. They're into the stretch. Watch me go on the outside. Crimson Knight between horses. Brethren is toward the rail. There's 100 yards to come. Crimson Knight, watch me go on the outside. Watch me go with Crimson Knight. They'll come to the wire. Heads apart in a driving finish.
I mean, I was a little disappointed with the outcome, obviously, but felt like we had a couple minor excuses from the outside post and kind of a quick early quarter. The first thing that Elliott Walden and I talked about, after the race was probably looking at the Arkansas Derby, which was probably on our radar screen going into the race. So we'll see how he comes out of it. So far, he looks to be in good order today, and most likely the Arkansas Derby would be next.
Perhaps Run Flat Out can make amends with a big performance in this Saturday San Felipe.
He's a very nice colt, 107 and change for his debut victory right here at Santa Anita. But like a lot of these horses, like Albergati, what will he do as he takes this big step up in class and moves on to 2 turns? And here's a look at his HRTV diary.
Run Flat Out is out. He's all west pointed up as we watch him walking around here. John's going to take a look at him. Here he comes. Rico Suave. And you get to work Run Flat Out.
Yeah, so he's a good horse too.
What's your name, Sunshine? You must be looking for Run Flat Out too. Let's go see how he works.
This could be the one. This could be the one. Got the Derby fever.
Gonna be in trouble, Mr. Baffert. If that horse can route, who's gonna beat him? What? Run Flat Out. 25 and 4. Jeez.
Fresh off his work, barely blowing, 125 and 4. How'd you go?
Good. Looks good to me.
You like?
Yeah, I like it.
John's happy.
Okay, okay.
Very happy.
It's a good thing, all right?
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
And Premier Pegasus, they would need to sprout wings to get him. Premier Pegasus absolutely romping in the San Felipe. Alonso Coninos will win it a good 7 in the end. Jaycito ran on second. Bench Points was third, and Comet to the top, finished 4th.
I didn't know what he was going to do with the blinkers, and when I saw the pace, I saw him way back there. I was more worried about him making all the turns, and so when I saw that he got him to settle nicely, and when he came around there, it looked like he was going to make a run, but the winner just freaked today, so nobody's going to beat him today. So, but I'm really happy with the way he ran. He handled everything well, and so on to the Mountain 8th and Kentucky Derby. So we wanted to win, but we knew you have to run first, second, or third, for keep from getting off the bus. So I think we're still on the bus.
We bring in Alonso Quinones, winning rider of the San Felipe. Also, Jeff Siegel at the desk. Congratulations. What a big race.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that horse ran huge.
Did you expect that kind of effort when you loaded into the starting gate? Was he giving you the signs?
Well, he's always been a good horse that he's always feeling good, And but yesterday the instructions were to stay close on the race, kind of break on top, try to make the lead. But we already know the inside horses, they were gonna go crazy on the lead, So Mr. Cho told me just kind of just sit right behind them, get a position first and then just sit right behind them. And but they were going too fast, and I didn't want to follow them that close. I said, we're going 2 turns now.
What would a Derby win mean to you? How's that?
Oh, the Derby win, that means like pretty much everything for us. You know, that's the race you want to win.
So you've got a Kentucky Derby mount possibly with Premier Pegasus. What are the plans with the horse? Do you know? Santa Anita Derby, Kentucky Derby?
Right now, that's the plan. You know, originally he was supposed to go run on the fairgrounds for the Louisiana Derby, but Mr. Cho changed his mind and he decided to go in this race. We got the money.
Coming up on Hrtv Rewind.
3,000 for Clinton Potts on Forever Tango.
Do you and Jess feel like proud parents?
I do. I'm going to be the grandmother of a horse.
You're watching Hrtv Rewind, the second week in March 2011.
Forever Tango inside, Boomtown Sally the outside. They match strides now. Racing third, Voodoo's Vision. Forever Tango digging in, holding it here. Boomtown Sally tries her the outside. Forever Tango, she's responding to Clinton Potts. There it is, 3,000 for Clinton Potts on Forever Tango.
You're a good handicapper, too. Tell us about this horse and how special it was to do it for Todd Beatty.
Well, I tell you what, I mean, he just claimed the filly, her last race for himself, you know, as the owner. And, I've been working her in the mornings, and she's been working really, really good. I kept telling Todd, I mean, this is a really nice filly. She's really going to turn into something. And, boy, did she run like that last night. It was amazing.
Where does this 3,000th winner rank, and what are some of the other career highlights?
Well, I mean, to me, to win 3,000 races, if you would have told me I was going to do that when I started riding, you know, I would have thought you were crazy. But it's just an amazing feat for me to be able to get that many and be able to ride so many nice over the year. And I don't have any set goals of what I'm going to accomplish. I've moved back to Penn National and hoping to carry out my career here. I love living here. And I guess I'll just take it from there.
I understand his first 2 mares are confirmed in full. That must be some exciting news.
I think he's got 3 or 4 now. So, no, he's well on his way. He's fallen into his new job well.
Not a blip miss, I guess. He's just such a beautiful horse. And have you had just a ton of interest in him? Lots of people coming? And how do you weed through to find the best mares to allow that mating to happen?
Well, the interest has been tremendous. I mean, we've probably turned down 4 to 1 for what we've taken. We'll start him off with about 90 mares, and Seth's gone through quite a few of the pedigrees as well to pick and choose through and pick the best mates we can. And obviously the demand, because of what he is and the type of racehorse and physical he is, he's been very popular.
Congratulations that Rachel Alexandra is in full to Curlin. Do you and Jess feel like proud parents?
I do. I'm going to be the grandmother of a horse.
Well,
and he does too. Definitely, we're really excited.
Were you there for the breeding? Are you planning on going back for the foaling that they're saying maybe around February 1?
Yeah, I couldn't be there for the breeding because these things have to be at the exact time that they thought was the best. Mm-hmm. And so I couldn't be there, but I'm definitely going for the foaling.
Let's talk about the Grade 2 1-turn 1 mile Gulfstream Park handicap. This is a field of 8, and is there more on the Tackleberry bandwagon now?
Well, I'll tell you what. If he wins again, I tip my hat to owner trainer Louis Oliveras. I mean, he's had some good fortune, good trips in his last 2 wins. I don't see that kind of setup in here. Plus, he's got to concede weight to some horses that I just think are way better than he is. So if he can come through and win again, the pace scenario won't favor him. I mean, good luck for Tackleberry today.
Soaring Empire to the outside. Tisway between horses. Rule is down on the inside. And then comes Jackson Bend and Duke of Mischief. Can Tackleberry hold on? Tackleberry on the inside. Tisway, Soaring Empire. Here's the finish. Tackleberry again! Then either Soaring Empire or Tisway, and Duke of Mischief was fourth. Late speed coming from News Dad and Queen's Plate Kitten. It's Joe's Blazing Aaron pulling away. He's got a 4-length lead. Queen's Plate Kitten trying to make a late move. Joe's Blazing Aaron wires the field in the Palm Beach. Then Queen's Plate Kitten, News Dad, and East of Danzig. Here's Dynamic Holiday, who rushes by them late. Then Excited and Mystical Star, but it's Dynamic Holiday and Ramon Dominguez pulling away in the Here Comes the Bride. Then Mystical Star, followed by Excited and Triune.
Up next on HRTV Rewind.
They hit the wire. Close, I think, this match might have caused the upset.
The most serious and most common injury we have in horse racing. The horses do fairly well afterwards.
You're watching HRTV Rewind, the second week in March 2011.
Things to a short lead. Street Storm charging on the outside. Crypto Candiac at the rail. A three-way thriller in the Mardi Gras Stakes. Street Storm and Aid and Crypto Candiac at Street Storm and Jesse Campbell. Street Storm on the wire from Aid.
The aptly named Gamely, a daughter of Bold Ruler, won 14 stakes during her career. But arguably, her most notable victory came at the Great Race Place. Gamely was trained by future Hall of Famer Jim Maloney. Maloney was in an enviable position the winter of 1968. He had both Gamely and Princess Nishan in his barn for owner William Hagen Perry. Physically, at least, Gamely held a sizable advantage. At 16.2 hands, she was the bigger of the Maloney fillies. But on the racetrack, the tail of the tape was a bit narrower. In their first meeting at Santa Anita, Gamely defeated Princess Nishan in the Santa Maria. It was a result that only could have been made sweeter for their connections if it were a dead heat. But the stakes were higher 3 weeks later in the Santa Margarita Handicap. On the line was a $100,000 purse, making the event one of the country's richest races at the time for fillies and mares. In a heartbreaker for Princess Nishan, Gamely and jockey Manny Akaza prevailed by the slimmest of margins. The Santa Margarita was the biggest payday of Gamely's illustrious career. But don't feel too badly for Princess Nishan. She returned to Santa Anita to win the following year's Santa Margarita. But ultimately, Princess Nishan would always be overshadowed by her more accomplished stablemate, whose outstanding body of work earned her multiple championships and enshrinement in racing's Hall of Fame.
And it switched to Always a Princess. Vision in Gold shifting out. They come for home and Switch goes on with it. Switch the leader. Late run from Mismatch. Mismatch, a big long shot coming out of nowhere. Swiss, Match. They hit the wire. Close, I think. Mismatch might have caused the upset.
What did Neil tell you about this filly to make you so confident in being so far back?
Well, I've ridden her before. I've ridden her one time. I rode her at Keeneland. I went on her. Neil didn't have her at the time. And I know he does a wonderful job, and he's been very confident in the way she's been training. Said she went very easy up north, and he loved the way she'd been training. So that's good enough for me. Anytime that Neil likes the way one's training, that's a good sign.
We saw something yesterday that unsettled quite a few people. Always a Princess falling near the wire under Martín Garcia. Garcia was okay, but many thought it was potentially life-threatening at the time. She did end up with fractured sesamoids. What does that mean for her future as a racehorse and for her life in general?
Well, she has no future as a racehorse. It's a very serious injury, and it's biaxial, that is, when both of the sesamoids fracture and the horse loses support to the fetlock joint. It's the most serious and most common injury we have in horse racing. Fortunately, Dr. Larry Bramlage developed a technique many years ago to actually fuse the joint. It's called an arthrodesis. It's something I'm sure they're considering, but it's a fairly, it's not a routine procedure. It's a very extensive procedure. I've assisted Dr. Bramlage on a number of these. And the horses do fairly well afterwards, but it is a serious injury, and you don't want to minimize it at all. I mean, there is a very good chance, even after the surgery, that the filly may or may not survive.
Interesting, but potentially she could be a broodmare prospect should
Oh,
things go correctly.
Absolutely. There's a number of very good horses, Mazeltrick, Saratoga 6, all have had fusion of their fetlock joints and had rather long careers in the breeding shed.
And the #1 winner of the Santa Margarita is Zenyatta. The 2010 Santa Margarita showcased one of the greatest female thoroughbreds to have ever graced the American racing stage, Zenyatta. Although Zenyatta was returning from a layoff, she won the Santa Margarita despite carrying 127 pounds, 15 more than runner-up Dance to My Tune. The Santa Margarita was Zenyatta's 15th consecutive victory and gave trainer John Sheriffs his 5th win in the Santa Margarita.
Zenyatta is playing with them. Yet another unbelievable win. If you don't have goosebumps right now, you don't like horse racing.
There's a furlong to go. Joyful Victory well out in front. Holy Heavens moving up second. Dixie City is third. Salty Strike running fourth. A 16th to go. Joyful Victory under a hand ride from Mike Smith is going to win the Honeybee by 6 lengths.
Well, you know, she just followed up right after that work she had that, you know, Larry started comparing her to the to 8 Bell. She just, you know, she just ran beautifully. But I don't want to brag, but you forgot one horse that won the Honeybee, Rampon. So we got 3 of them.
Exactly. So you certainly have this race's number. Now, what other races do you put in your sights?
Well, you know, I got to talk to Larry, but I'm sure that we're going to point to the Fantasy and come back and hopefully win the Fantasy.
Down the inside is Kate's Main Man. In the middle, it happened again. To the outside, this guy's no limit. Here comes Gwyn Willie with his late run, but he's got a lot to make up. They drive for the wire. It happened again. He has the lead. This guy is no limit, is on his outside. It happened again. He's going to win the Razorback handicap by a neck over stablemate. This guy's no limit.
It was perfect. This horse is really easy to ride. They go slow. He's there. If they go fast, he can sit off of it. And they're going slow early for these quality horses, and nice and relaxed. Ears popped up and just going, you know, easy. Yeah, I was very confident. It's just a matter of, you know, whoever's going to go by him is going to need a lot of horse to get by. And he actually seen a horse come up to him and just never let him by anywhere. You know, could have went there twice and was kept digging in.
That's all for Rewind. Here's a look at what's coming up next week on HRTV.